Who is the Red Hulk, and why does he hate the Green Incredible Hulk? Welcome to the Comicstorian Full Story Series, where we take complete stories that we have made over the years that relate to one another and combine them into one long video to give you a better viewing experience. If you enjoy this story, support the industry and go check it out at your local comic shop. In the 2008 Hulk comic by Jeff Loeb, we were introduced to the Red Hulk and the mystery behind his identity. Today, I've gathered all the episodes we released here on the channel, including one that never actually got published. This is volumes 1 through 4 of the 2008 Hulk story by Jeff Loeb. I hope you enjoy.
Doc Samson leans down, placing his hand in the massive footprint. There were no witnesses, at least none that survived. But these tracks tell the story pretty clearly in graphic detail. He explains to the small Russian village. Our man landed here, he says, indicating the footprint, and he looks over at She-Hulk asking if she'll stand nearby to play the villain. Why? I can play the villain and you can play the victim, Jennifer says to him, but he continues on explaining that the attacker came in fast and ruined his sense of surprise. The Abomination tried to fight back, but the Hulk easily blocked the blow. At this point, he didn't let up. It was more than a beating, it was a punishment. Their battle shook the earth, leveling the nearby village, Samson tells her, but he explains that when the Abomination finally went down, the Hulk did something unexpected. He pulled out a gun and shot the Abomination several times. Thunderbolt Ross and Maria Hill look at him. That doesn't make any sense, Leonard. Even for you. Skipping past the fact that he already had defeated the Abomination. Since when does the Hulk use a gun? Ross questions. Adding on to the fact, where would he find a gun big enough for his hand? And Maria looks at the general, pointing out that they have weapons that fit that description in the S.H.I.E.L.D. armory. Iron Man nods, ordering Hill to get him an inventory of all of the weapons on the helicarrier. What's that stuff that looks like glass? She-Hulk asks as she motions to the shiny footprint in the dirt, and Samson nods, explaining that their Hulk is giving off so much gamma radiation that he literally scorched the earth where he stood. Finally, Samson rubs his head, telling him that they need to exhume Abomination's remains. Suddenly a voice calls out, "We cannot allow that to happen." The group turns to see the Winter Guard standing before them. Emil Blonsky was a Russian citizen. "We will solve his murder and submit our findings to you," Red Guardian tells them defiantly. "Which means it's time for you to go," Ursa Major growls. Samson looks at them with disdain. "Don't feed me your nationalist crap. The Abomination was a blight on the Russian people. We were doing you a favor by cleaning up your mess," he tells them, and he steps up to the Red Guardian, explaining to the soldier that they are dealing with a Hulk and the Winter Guard is lucky that only one village was destroyed. "We were under the impression that the Hulk was dead," Ursa Major notes as he squares up to She-Hulk. "You want to take a step back, Grizzly Adams?" she tells him. And Samson becomes angry as Red Guardian squares off with him, slamming him in the face, ordering him to back off. "Oi!" Maria Hill sighs. Red Guardian quickly recovers, pulling his shield and uppercutting Samson in the face. "This is very stupid, even for an American," he says, and She-Hulk turns to fight, but Ursa Major slashes her across the shoulder while she wasn't looking. The Green Woman looks at her blood in shock. "You cut me? You're gonna make someone a great rug," she snaps as she punches the bear in the face. Red Dynamo launches his own attack at Iron Man, but Stark isn't phased, hitting the armored soldier with a blast. The fight continues for a moment before everyone pauses as Ross fires his service pistol into the air. After getting everyone's attention, he motions to a young girl standing amongst the rubble. "I have found a survivor," he tells them. The girl begins to babble in Russian as Tony approaches her. She's saying red, Dark Star explains to them. Meanwhile, Rick Jones suddenly awakens on the Alaskan frontier, pulling himself out of the snow and heading to a large cloud of smoke in the distance. As he crests the hill, he looks down in shock at the destruction below him. "Rick Jones, what have you gotten yourself into this time?" he whispers to himself. Meanwhile, over in the Nevada desert, Doc Samson and General Ross enter a hidden base. Putting up all of their security measures, they move through the base until they finally reach the prison cell buried deep beneath the earth. And the door opens to reveal Bruce Banner in his cell. "Ross, Samson, I was wondering when you were going to ask for my help," Bruce says to them. Meanwhile, aboard the new S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier that was commissioned by the appointed director, Tony Stark, Maria Hill enters his office carrying a large golden pistol. "What did you find?" Stark asks her, and she holds up the weapon for him to see. This is the weapon that killed Emil Blonsky, not the actual gun. That's gone undiscovered for now, but this is the same caliber, barrel registration, and it was stolen from right here. the armory inside of the SHIELD helicarrier. She explains to him. Tony takes the weapons as She-Hulk questions about the records from the SHIELD armory. But she is interrupted as a giant red arm rips through the wall, yanking She-Hulk out of the room. The freaking Hulk is here! She shouts as she disappears through the hole in the wall. The guards rush to the hole in the wall as the sound of a battle continues to echo throughout the chambers. Sounds like she's not going down without a fight, noting that the carrier seems to be dipping to the side. Stark turns, activating his carrier widecom frequency. This is Director Stark. We have an enemy presence on board. I want this place on lockdown. And get control of the stabilizing system. We're supposed to be able to glide through gale force winds, and I'm not gonna let the Hulk capsize us, he tells the crew. Suddenly, the wall explodes inward as She-Hulk is thrown through it. Hill and Stark both look down at the green woman with concern in their eyes. Commander Hill, get to safety or get some armor on, he shouts to her, and he orders Hill to get Jennifer to medical before activating his comm again and ordering the soldiers to find Doc Samson and General Ross and protect them. Iron Man gets a call from the Quartermain on level 5, and he goes to see what is happening. As he finds him with the wounded General Ross, Ross refuses to leave the fight. I've been hunting the Hulk longer than any of you. Red, green, or blue, no reason to stop now, he tells them as he raises his weapon, and Iron Man nods as he heads into the darkness of the tunnels. His light suddenly shining on the Red Hulk as the beast roars from the shadows, rushing at him. The monster hits him hard, and the two go flying through one of the walls. Tony hits the ground in a roll, ordering Quartermain to evacuate the area as he hits the Red Hulk with a pulse blast. Fall, you red bastard! He snaps, but the Red Hulk growls, shrugging off the blast. Picking up a large piece of machinery, he throws it at Tony, sending them both flying to the floor. An animal doesn't need a gun. Tony grunts as he tries to push the metal off of him. He hits the boosters flying from underneath the machine, rocketing back up into the next room. It also doesn't systematically pick off its enemies, and it sure as hell doesn't wreck my helicarrier, he shouts to himself, rocketing to the flight deck, ordering every available pilot to get to the deck and get all aircraft off of the carrier. Initiate Iron Men protocol. Every shellhead in the armory reports. But he turns too slowly as the Red Hulk approaches from behind, slamming a jet fighter into Iron Man, and then leaps away with a growl. The entire carrier begins to capsize, falling out of the sky towards the earth, jets beginning to tip and fall away, but the automated Iron Man suits begin to race around, catching everything as it falls. But that's when Tony himself begins to fall out of the sky. His jet boots are rebooting. Luckily, She-Hulk is there to catch him, grabbing him by the arm. And as she pulls him up, he thanks her, but she explains that this wasn't a random attack. While he was here, all of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s files on the Hulk were wiped. Also, your SHIELD carrier is going to crash into New York and kill an awful lot of people, She-Hulk explains to him. Below them, New York begins to come up fast. Also, he spoke to me. Tony is shocked. He did? He only growled at me. He said he could kill me anytime that he wanted, and you know what? I believed him, she tells him. Tony rockets away as his jet boots reboot. He joins the rest of the automated armor as they try to slow the descent of the helicarrier, pushing it off course. Changing course, heading for New Jersey, he orders the suits, and they manage to push it clear, but the carrier crumples and explodes as it slams into the earth. Meanwhile, Rick Jones steps out of the big rig outside of the Gamma base in Nevada. Despite the driver's warnings, he begins to walk down the lonely highway. Thought you were dead, a voice says to him from behind. You thought wrong. What a shock, Rick says, turning to see the Red Hulk without any surprise. I don't like being wrong. You should know that. You're just gonna have to stay dead, Red Hulk says as he reaches out, gently slapping Rick, sending him into the ground. Don't. It's bad. Rick gasps as the anger overwhelms him and he begins to shift and change, his clothes ripping as his skin grows blue. And he stands tall as A-Bomb. Red Man killed Old Abomination! Now A-Bomb's gonna kill Red Man! The monster snarls. Meanwhile, in New Jersey, Tony Stark is walking through the destruction that was the SHIELD helicarrier as the damage reports continue to flood into his armor. I'm going after him, Jennifer says as she steps up to Tony. Her pants and shoes are torn from falling out of the sky. You sure that's wise? Red Hulk just handed us our heads and trashed about $8 billion worth of a helicarrier. Just try and stop me, Jennifer snaps, and Maria Hill steps up to the director, informing him that the crew is all accounted for except for Clay Quartermain, Doc Samson, and General Ross. Find them, now! Tony snaps at her, and she nods, but informs him that he should have a look at the security footage from Gamma Base a few days ago. An image shows up showing Doc Samson and General Ross standing outside of Bruce's prison explaining the situation. There's a very real possibility that there are two Hulks running around, Samson explained. Bruce nods and thinks about it. The Hulk and I have been separated before. How do you know this other Hulk isn't another manifestation of my psyche? We don't, Ross explains before telling Banner that he needs him to go over the files from Russia. Who killed the Abomination? If this was a new Hulk, why? What's with the radiation, and why does he use a gun? Ross says, listing off the questions that they need answered. Bruce nods and asks to see the files, and as they're about to leave, he calls Ross back. But Ross stands in front of the camera and Bruce's words suddenly become muffled. Tony pauses the recording, asking the computer to replay that portion. What the hell was that? I want someone to tell me what Banner said to Ross, Tony shouts to Hill. She nods, explaining that they don't have anyone capable of hearing what he says. Then find someone who is, Tony shouts to her. Meanwhile, off in the desert, Red Hulk is slamming into A-Bomb as the blue monster tries to punch him. A-Bomb kill Red Man! He shouts. I thought you got Rick? Red Hulk asks, but A-Bomb twists, punching Red Hulk through the air. As the Red Hulk slams into the ground in front of the security gate, the scanner reaches out to confirm his identity, and there is a ding at the gate. But before it can say anything, he crushes it in a single blow. Now A-Bomb smash Red Man! A-Bomb shouts as he leaps through the air. That's not gonna happen, Rick! The Red Hulk sneers, and the two continue to fight through the base, activating the security systems that open fire on them, bullets bouncing off of Red Hulk's tough skin. Just what I was looking for, he says as he stalks forward, ripping it out of the ground. I've killed one Abomination, time to make it two. He says with a smile as he opens fire on A-Bomb, the rounds beating against him, driving him back. Though they don't seem to wound him, they do weaken him enough for the monster to collapse. Red Hulk moves forward, his weapon empty. Bulletproof skin. Seems you're more armadillo than man. He notes, but A-Bomb's fist comes up, punching Red Hulk hard in the chin. Red Man tries to kill A-Bomb, but A-Bomb can't be hurt. The monster shouts as they leap at each other. They trade blows back and forth, fists slamming against indestructible skin. Finally, Red Hulk slams A-Bomb hard in the head with a hammer blow, slamming his fist into A-Bomb over and over again, explaining to the monster what it felt like to kill the Abomination. With each blow, the ground cracks around them. The earth trembles, buildings begin to fall behind them. And deep below the earth, Bruce's prison shakes. What the hell is going on? Let me out! He shouts as things begin to topple around him. He reaches out to touch the walls of his prison, and gas begins to seep into the room as a security measure. As he coughs, he holds his breath, slamming his fist against the glass of his cell, each punch making him angrier. The next blow is a large green fist, and the glass begins to crack. Meanwhile, up on the surface, A-Bomb has managed to struggle to his feet as the two continue to fight. More security measures being activated, and a hangar door sliding open to reveal 3 harpies, all designed to look like Betty Ross. Huh, cute, Red Hulk laughs. Why birds at Betty's face? A-Bomb snarls, and the massive harpies reach out, gripping both monsters in their talons, each lifting one into the air. And as one carries A-Bomb high into the air, the blue monster becomes angry, ripping off the harpy's talon, slashing it into the robot's body, forcing it to plunge back to Earth. Red Hulk, meanwhile, twists and fights off 2 of the monsters, punching them until they back off, until he beats them into the ground, pummeling them into destruction. There's nothing that anyone can come up with that could stop me, he snarls as he continues to beat the robots. That's when behind him, a green arm pulls itself out of the massive hole that the monsters have created. All right, Rick, let's finish this, Red Hulk says with a smile as he steps forward. But he's greeted by the true Hulk. Hulk, not Rick! Hulk is Hulk! Hulk bellows and Red Hulk smiles. Banner, I'm gonna love this. The eyes of the Watcher turn to the events of Gamma Base, and he looks to the readers, explaining, I am the Watcher, chronicling the events of Earth, but never interfering. Hey, shut the heck up! Red Hulk grins as he punches Uatu hard in the face, the Watcher hitting the ground, his eyes rolling into the back of his head. Not done yet? I'm gonna keep you quiet for a long time. Red Hulk smiles as he steps up to deliver another blow to Uatu's head. But as his fists rear back, it's stopped by the Hulk. Red Hulk, stop hitting Big Bald Man! Hulk snarls, but Red Hulk turns back to him and the destruction of Gamma Base all around them. Hulk, I almost forgot you were here, he says, turning his fiery stare back to the green monster. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Red Hulk thinks that he can beat Hulk. Hulk is the strongest that there is. Hulk bellows as the two clash once more. Red Hulk throwing Hulk to the ground and standing over him. You might be the strongest that there is, but those days are short. Red Hulk tells him, grabbing his massive hands around the Hulk's throat, choking the very life out of him, telling him that he'll end years of the Hulk ruining people's lives. Hulk just gets mad. Red Hulk knows nothing of Hulk. All Hulk wants is to be left alone. Hulk bellows as he slams his fist into Red Hulk, throwing him away. The Hulks attack each other, trading blows back and forth as Red Hulk continues to insult Hulk and call him a monster. But the Hulk keeps getting madder and madder, stronger and stronger, landing blow after blow until finally Red Hulk catches his fist. I've heard all about your strength. I'm sure it's very intimidating to all of your enemies, but you've never had a friend like me. Red Hulk says as he twists the Hulk around, trapping his arm behind his back, locking his throat at the same time. Let go of Hulk! Hulk says as he struggles, but Red Hulk's eyes begin to glow as he gets stronger, explaining to Hulk that he has defeated everyone, and that he could kill them all at any time. Any time that I wanted, starting with you. He snarls as he wrenches the Hulk's arm and snaps it. He tightens his grip around the Hulk's throat and the monster begins to grow weary, his vision getting blurry and beginning to blacken. Don't pass out on me yet. I'm not interested in Milksop Banner. I want the Hulk. Red Hulk sneers. Meanwhile, Iron Man and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have tracked down the gamma radiation of the Red Hulk to a meat warehouse 50 miles from where the helicarrier crashed. It is there that they find the body of Clay Quartermain, and during this investigation, Maria Hill walks up with a radiation-soaked coat. She looks at Iron Man grimly. The coat belonged to Leonard Samson. The Hulk finally comes around, rain pouring from the sky as he looks up at the sneering face of Red Hulk. The monster looks down at him, explaining that he had to keep shaking him to stop him from becoming a Banner again. Nobody would care if I blew Banner's brains out. You, on the other hand, they might just give me a medal for doing this, if I even cared for that sort of thing. I want the world to see that it was I who killed you, Hulk. He snaps as he aims the golden gun at Hulk's head. Far below them, cars continue driving back and forth along the Golden Gate Bridge. No! Hulk bellows as he rears up, biting the barrel of Red Hulk's gun, crushing it between his teeth. Lightning cracks around them as Hulk pushes to his feet, punching Red Hulk. They trade blows again, with Hulk plummeting over the edge, taking out several support beams on the bridge as he falls. I played out this scenario in my head with 1,000 different endings. It doesn't matter as long as I win. New strategy. I let you live knowing you aren't the strongest that there is. There's a new Hulk in town and his color is red. Red Hulk laughs as he watches the Hulk trip and fall. There's no one that can beat me. Red Hulk roars into the storm as it cracks into the night sky. But then, the storm answers him. No one? I think it's not a beast, Thor tells him, floating in the sky as the storm rages around them. Tonight you will fall to my hammer. So says the mighty Thor. The lightning cracks behind him as Red Hulk turns to glare at the god. Thor, I heard you were dead. I heard you were green, monster. He leaps across the gap, bringing Mjolnir hard on the Red Hulk's chest. It doesn't matter, since by morning's light thou shalt be dead. As the smoke clears, Thor looks up to see the Red Hulk is unaffected. Yeah, about that. You're welcome to give it a whirl, but it's gonna be a long night. Red Hulk grins at him and Thor is stunned. What kind of beast are you that you do not fall to Mjolnir? He whispers to himself and Red Hulk bellows, launching himself at the Thunder God. The kind that beats the snot out of Thunder Gods! He roars, blows raining down on Thor, staggering the god. Red Hulk rears back, uppercutting him, sending him flying into the nearby lighthouse. Did I mention that I don't believe in gods? He asks as he leaps the distance, landing amongst the rubble. I guess killing a god isn't as hard as they make you think it is. And the rubble shifts as Thor pulls himself free. I have been held by Hela's embrace, known her touch. I also know the fates, and I was brought here to teach you defeat! He thunders as once again he lashes out with his hammer. The blow to Red Hulk's stomach, doubling him over. Thor whirls back, cracking the hammer against the side of the monster's head. Your very presence threatens Midgard, this world that I have sworn to protect, and her people. By Odin's hand, your threat and terror reign ends with me! He shouts as he prepares to bring the hammer down again, but Red Hulk reaches out, catching it. You missed that I'm not the other one, the green one. So whatever battle plan you came with, forget it! He says, standing, leaping into the air, carrying both Thor and the hammer into space. I've studied you, Thor. I don't mind telling you that your battle skills are legendary, but there is always a battle where one man falls and the other doesn't. He says as they sail through the air, Thor shocked, not believing that the Red Hulk can lift his hammer. I know all about your secret, how no one can lift your hammer. Cute trick, unless all I'm doing is jumping while you're holding on tight. Or unless we're in zero gravity. He says as they reach space. He twirls the hammer, ripping it out of Thor's grasp, cracking him in the jaw with it. Gotta hold my breath now. Gotta run silent. He whispers as he takes a deep breath, and the Red Hulk swings the hammer again and again, hitting Thor several times until the Thunder God is unconscious. He then throws him down onto the moon, smiling as he stands over the Thunder God, kicking him one more time before leaping back to Earth. It doesn't take long for the Thunder God to stir, anger blazing in his eyes. Hulk, to leave me alive, has ensured my vengeful wrath, he growls in the darkness of space. Meanwhile, Iron Man is standing in the Baxter building, hoping that Reed can tell him what Banner said to Ross. Ben Grimm stands nearby, complaining that they are taking up the TV while he's trying to watch the Mets. So they finally get the recording playing, and Reed is fascinated that someone was able to doctor the audio in the video, but he manages to fix it just a little, and one word can be heard. Samson. Suddenly, all the lights go out in the Baxter building. Stark! Your recording was carrying a Trojan horse that shut down the power grid, Reed explains in the darkness. Why do I get a feeling I'm not going to be able to watch the rest of my ball game? Ben grumbles, and as the emergency power comes back on, Maria Hill calls to Tony, explaining that they have tracked the Red Hulk signature, making Earthfall in Monument Valley, and she's calling in the military. Forget the military, I have a better idea, Stark tells her. Meanwhile, under the wreckage of the Golden Gate Bridge, the Hulk is trapped beneath the waters. But A-Bomb swims down, releasing him from the rubble, and the two monsters pull themselves out of the water, climbing up to the bridge. Why did Blue Man help Hulk? Green Monster questions. A-Bomb is Hulk's friend. Help Hulk fight Red Hulk. City fell down. Earthquakes everywhere. Red Hulk's fault. Blue Monster explains. Hulk looks at him. A-Bomb stay. Help the city. Hulk go after Red Hulk, he tells his new friend, but a voice calls out and interrupts him. Hulk, you're gonna need some help, and I brought them. Tony tells him. Standing amongst him is She-Hulk, Ares, Ben Grimm, the Human Torch, and Submariner. Hulk looks at them all, distrust in his eyes. Hulk, whatever differences we've had in the past, we need to forget them. I've brought help. I've brought friends, Tony says to him, but the monster shakes his head. Robot, Hulk need no new friends. A-Bomb is Hulk's friend, he tells them, and the others try to reason with Hulk, explaining that his fight with Red Hulk has triggered the San Andreas fault and the city is falling into the ocean. Hulk, not Earth City! Red Hulk did it! He shouts angrily, but Ares looks at him, telling the Green Monster that he should be grateful that they have agreed to help. Ares, you're only going to make a bad situation worse, Namor tells him. Broomhead need to shut up, or Hulk will make you shut up! And Ares pulls out his axe. No one calls me Broomhead and lives to tell about it, he bellows as he rushes at the Hulk. Broomhead! The monster taunts. Oh boy, here we go. Human Torch sighs, but all the heroes begin to try and pull Ares away before another fight can start. Tony stops, explaining to Hulk that they came to help the city and to help stop the Red Hulk. Iron Man hate Red Hulk? Hulk hate Red Hulk too. Hulk listen. Hulk tells him, and She-Hulk steps up to her cousin, telling him that they think Red Hulk is Doc Samson. But Hulk just becomes angry, stating that he doesn't care as he leaps away. Red Hulk is Red Hulk! Hulk smash Red Hulk! He bellows, and A-Bomb leaps after his friend as the other heroes go to work trying to save the people of San Francisco. Meanwhile, over in Monument Valley, the Red Hulk pulls his way free of the crater that he created. Incredible! Not only did I beat the tar out of Thor, I actually jumped from the moon and survived, he says to himself as he pulls himself up. He looks up to see the Hulk standing over him. You again? Back for more? He asks, but his grin disappears as the Hulk reaches down, picking him up by his throat. Hulk not back for more. Hulk is here to finish Red Hulk! The Hulk snarls, but Red Hulk pushes off of Hulk, explaining to the green monster that finding him was a mistake. But the two begin to trade blows again. Red Hulk hurt Hulk. Hulk was not ready for Red Hulk. Now Hulk is ready. Hulk hurt you bad. Hulk growls as he punches the Red Hulk again and again, shrugging off the blows though. Red Hulk showers it back on him. The Red Hulk then twists out of the way, bringing his fist together on the Hulk's head. Instead of just watching you take the pain, I'll kill you quickly. You should thank me for that. Red Hulk tells him, but that's when Mjolnir slams into the Red Hulk as he's about to land a powerful blow, knocking him away. It is not your task to lay claim to Hela's subjects, any more so than yours to speak of victory in the battle with the mighty Thor, the Asgardian shouts as his hammer returns to him. He then beats Red Hulk again and again with Mjolnir, staggering the monster. Never again will you touch Mjolnir, except to feel its sting and fall to its power, Thor tells him. Meanwhile, Hulk is staggering to his feet, looking up to see A-Bomb. Blonde hair cannot defeat Red Hulk. Only Hulk can defeat Red Hulk. Hulk tells his friend as they watch Thor hitting Red Hulk with a blast of lightning. But Hulk! A-Bomb begins, and Hulk waves him off. The madder Hulk get, the stronger Hulk get, he growls, and A-Bomb nods, pointing to the molten sand at Hulk's feet. And the madder that Red Hulk gets, the harder that Red Hulk gets. Hulk finishes A-Bomb's sentence with a whisper. Thor raises himself up, floating in the cracks of lightning, calling from his storm. Creature, you thought you could stand against a god. By my hand, there shall be a reckoning, he thunders. But then Hulk leaps in, spearing Red Hulk, carrying him away. Blonde-hair hurts Red Hulk. Now Red Hulk is mine to hurt. The Hulk bellows, but Thor is angered, preparing to wield Mjolnir against Hulk before A-Bomb stands in his way. Thor does not know A-Bomb, but A-Bomb knows Thor. Thor is God, Thor's greatest warrior. This is Hulk's fight. Hulk has to win for Hulk. Thor understand? A-Bomb asks him, and the Asgardian regards the monster for a moment before nodding. But if Hulk falls, the Red Hulk's blood will run from my hands. Thor says to him. In the distance, Hulk blocks another blow from Red Hulk. Incredible. I'm big enough to admit that Thor had me on the ropes, but in your stupidity, you may have spared my life. Red Hulk sneers as he continues to wail on the Hulk. That will always be your downfall. You will never understand what it takes to win a fight. The Red Hulk tells him as he hits him again, and the Hulk only blocking blows and taking hits. The radiation of the heat coming off of the Red Hulk is now flowing in waves. In the distance, Thor continues to watch with A-Bomb. He's killing the Hulk. If what you say is true, if you are his friend, let me enter the fray before it is too late. Thor tells the monster, but A-Bomb shakes his head. No! Hulk is getting stronger! Red Hulk continues to land the blows. Come on! Fight back! Is this how you want to go? A coward? A brainless, hopeless Hulk? His eyes glowing with heat as it escapes his body, but weariness suddenly begins to overtake him as he feels the heat. So hot! He whispers, and he swings at Hulk again, but the monster dodges the blow, letting the fist slam into the rock. What did you do to me? Red Hulk gasps. Red Hulk think Hulk is stupid. Red Hulk hurts everyone. Red Hulk likes to kill. Red Hulk is bad. Hulk growls at him and he rears back, punching the Red Hulk hard enough to throw him through the air. Great Hulk stops Red Hulk here! He roars, but the Red Hulk hits the ground hard enough to crack the earth, this time not getting up. There's only one Hulk, and he is green! Hulk roars over his fallen enemy. Thor steps up to Hulk, telling him that he is someone that Thor would be proud to call a friend. Thor wants to be Hulk's friend? Thor nods and the two shake hands. And it would? Yes. Thor tells him with a smile, and with that, the Thunder God leaps into the air, flying away in a crack of thunder. A-Bomb looks at the Hulk as he begins to walk away in the desert. Is Hulk still A-Bomb's friend? He asks. Yes, Rick will always be Hulk's friend. Hulk tired. Hulk whispers, and as Hulk disappears into the distance, A-Bomb reverts to Rick Jones once again. Rick calling out to his friend. Bruce, you need to know the truth. The Red Hulk is... He begins to shout, but a blast of energy hits him from behind, dropping him to the ground. Doc Samson stands there, taser in his hand. Oh, you can't be telling secrets, Rick. It's not your future. It's not your destiny. We're gonna have to fix that. Samson says as he begins to drag the young man away, but he stops, turning back to the body of the fallen Red Hulk. And we gave you everything you needed to destroy the green monster, Samson says to the Red Hulk. Still, you failed. You failed us, and worse, you failed yourself. General Ross says as he looks down at the Red Hulk, and then he turns and begins to walk away. "You're on your own now," he says as he leaves the Red Hulk, fallen and alone. Red Hulk lands in the snow hard enough to shake the earth, the heat and radiation drifting off of his body, and out of his bag he pulls out a large rifle. This Hulk uses a gun. He sights quickly and blows the head off of a deer. And a short time later, he sits quietly by a fire as a Wendigo comes out, sniffing gently at the smell of fresh meat. "Wendigo!" The beast roars as it rushes at Red Hulk, its teeth biting into his shoulder, drawing glowing blood. "Get off of me!" Red Hulk shouts as he spins, firing his weapon into the man's chest. "I've heard you tossed around the Green Hulk. Guess you'll learn the hard way. I'm my own monster." He snarls as he tosses the beast away, but the Wendigo is back on its feet quickly, knocking the weapon out of Hulk's hand and smashing him across the face. The snow begins to melt around them as Red Hulk gets angry, radiation and heat coming off of his body in waves. He grabs the beast, throwing it to the ground, pinning it as he pulls a heated knife out of the fire. "I'm gonna make an example out of you, otherwise it'll be a sign of weakness, and that's not something that this Hulk is ever going to show anybody." He left the monster as a message, its limbs severed and lying next to its own bloody head. Afterwards, he leaped away. But from the forest came something that no one had ever seen before. A whole pack of Wendigos. They bellowed in rage and sadness when they found their kin before eating him. Meanwhile, Banner had been following the Red Hulk's trail for some time through the wilderness, Seattle, San Francisco, and he now finds himself in Las Vegas. But as he walks up to the entrance of one of its fabulous hotels, his eyes widen in shock. The crowd surges towards him, fear written across their faces as they scream. "Monsters, run! Get a cop!" they shout. Banner knows that he shouldn't, but he pushes past them, finding himself inside. The hotel floor is being terrorized. He wasn't the only one tracking the Red Hulk. Multiple Wendigo bellow in rage as they throw slot machines and tear through the unlucky patrons that haven't managed to escape. Banner takes cover behind a slot machine, sweat breaking out on his forehead. Stay calm, don't want to make things worse," he says to himself, but his body has already begun to contort as he changes. He turns to the side, seeing a young woman crying. "Help me," she whispers, but before he can react, she's yanked away. Banner's body twisting as it begins to grow, his shirt ripping open, his hat falling away. But when he stands, he is now gray and smiling. "Guess what, Vegas? Joe Fixit's back in town." The Gray Hulk laughs. The Wendigos all look up in shock from their meals, and Joe turns, smiling at them, motioning them forward. "Come here. I want to tell you something," he says with a smile. Moments later, a Wendigo goes flying out the front window of the casino, followed closely by Joe as the other two are attacking him. He twists, smashing them into a sports car before throwing them across the entrance and into a statue. He grabs another, slamming its head into a car. "I might have been gone for a while, but I'm not having you stinking jabronis mess my meal ticket up," he shouts, but he shouts in anger and pain as 6 moon-shaped throwing stars stab into his back. He turns in shock to see Moon Knight leaping down upon him. "You're kidding me, right? You want a piece of me?" Joe asks as he pulls the throwing moons free. "Go, now," Moon Knight commands, but Joe smiles, dropping the weapons to the pavement. "Make me, Moon Knight." Moon Knight tries to leap to safety, but Joe jumps after him, dragging him back to the earth. Moon Knight then pulls out a flashbang, stunning Joe briefly as he slams his fist into his ears. "Hard to hit me when you're blinded," Moon Knight growls, but Joe easily bats him away, sending him into a nearby taxi. "Now when you keep talking, jerk," he says as he reaches out, grabbing the hero by the chest as he raises his fist. "You are way out of your league. So why don't you pack it up and go back to New York City or LA or whatever Candy Cane Lane you call home?" But before he can bring his fist down, a voice calls out from behind. "Hulk, this stops now," Miss Marvel calls to him. He turns, seeing both Miss Marvel and Sentry floating behind him. "Let Moon Knight go, Hulk. Now," she commands. He nods. "Sure thing, doll. Catch." He laughs as he tosses the hero into the air. Sentry doesn't even hesitate, flying up after the hero. "I'll take care of the Hulk," Miss Marvel says grimly, but Joe just smiles, motioning her forward. "The name's Fixit. Joe Fixit." Marvel rushes forward, punching Joe hard in the face, explaining that she's read files on him. She knows that he's smarter than the Green Hulk, but nowhere near as strong. She ducks a blow and uppercuts him. Since I don't get a lot of chances to smack down the Hulk, I figure I'll take advantage of that advantage, Joe. She says as she hits him again, sending him hurtling through the air and into a large neon sign, when suddenly everything goes dark around them. And I guess that means knocking out the entire power grid. Oops, she whispers to herself, but suddenly the Hulk rushes out of the rubble. Now he's large, he's green, and he's here to smash. Pretty lady smash pretty lights. Now Hulk smash pretty lady. Hulk bellows at her. Meanwhile, Sentry is catching Moon Knight in the air. I have you. Go limp, the hero orders, but the fist of Khonshu hits him with a flashbang. Back off! Moon Knight orders as he extends his cape, gliding back to the earth. You and Miss Marvel have only made the situation worse, and now I have to clean up your mess, he growls. Back on the ground, and Miss Marvel rushes Hulk. Bad time to come out, Hulk. Now I'll put you back in the bottle, she shouts, but Hulk grabs her out of the air, bringing her in close. Hulk, not going anywhere, he growls, but that's when Moon Knight lands on his back, ordering him to release Miss Marvel. This is going to hurt, Moon Knight tells him as he places a device in Hulk's ear. Sheetface, take fingers out of Hulk's ear, Hulk yells, but he begins to bellow in pain as Moon Knight activates the sonic device, and the sound waves slam over and over into his brain. Hulk leaps away as the pain is ripping through him. Thanks for the save, Marvel gasps, but Moon Knight doesn't even look at her. Whatever. Hopefully he'll leap out of the city because we got bigger problems. Sentry slams into the Hulk as he leaps in mid-air. They collide with the Space Needle as the Sentry tries to talk some sense into the mindless brute. Hulk knows you. S-Man not Hulk's friend anymore. Hulk growls as the building sways beneath them, but Sentry just keeps hitting him. I understand, but you attacked the world, so I attacked you. This is different. I'm trying to help you. Sentry shouts as he punches the Hulk through another wall. Hulk bellows at him, growing angrier and stronger. Miss Marvel flies in, stopping the walls from collapsing. Oh, for God's sake, don't engage him, Sentry. You'll bring the whole tower down, she shouts, and Sentry quickly flies away, picking people up and bringing them to safety, shouting for the Hulk to just leave. But it's the shout from Moon Knight in the street that draws their attention. Remember when I said we had bigger problems? It just got worse, he shouts as he motions to all of the people, now transforming into Wendigos. Hulk and the others stop their fighting as they stare at the army of new monsters. Maybe Hulk shouldn't leave yet, Hulk whispers, and Miss Marvel nods her head in agreement. Yeah. The monsters all rush Moon Knight as he leaps away from the statue that he was perched on. Where's my backup? He shouts, and Miss Marvel nods, pointing out that they need to save the tower before it topples. Hulk has plan. Hulk smash beauty monsters, he shouts as he ignores her, leaping away. Miss Marvel sighs. I guess this means they're saving the tower, Sentry, she says, and Hulk slams into the ground, cracking the pavement, falling into the sewers. Now Hulk is in hole, and Hulk smells weird, he growls as the monsters begin to rise up around him, the creatures attacking, slashing, and biting into his flesh. Wendigo, stop biting Hulk, he bellows, and Moon Knight continues to fight the monsters as Miss Marvel and Sentry finish making sure the tower doesn't fall. As he peers over the edge at the hole that the Hulk made, his eyes widen in shock. Oh no, he whispers, and he stumbles back as a Wendigo-infected Hulk comes roaring back to the surface. Now I've seen everything. Can you take him? Miss Marvel asks Sentry, and he nods, flying towards the Wenda-Hulk. I can keep this up all night, Sentry says as he flies in for another attack, but he stops short by the Wenda-Hulk as he grabs him out of the air. The creature roars, bringing his teeth down onto Sentry. He's trying to eat me, Sentry shouts to his friends. Be right there, Miss Marvel shouts as her phone vibrates and she punches another Wendigo. She ends the call quickly, explaining to the other line that she is in the middle of fighting several Wendigos. And now we've got, don't laugh, a Wenda-Hulk. I told you not to laugh. When? Really? Great, I'll see you then. Moon Knight demands to know why she was on the phone, but she tells him because she's getting them reinforcements. Suddenly there's a flash as a dark portal opens up and Brother Voodoo steps out. This is a problem, he says as his eyes begin to glow. Brother Voodoo? Moon Knight says in shock, but Miss Marvel nods her head. He's good, you'll see, she tells Moon Knight, and Moon Knight leaps down as Brother Voodoo traces a circle on the ground. Moon Knight reacts in shock as the magic user stabs him with the tip of the dagger. Using the magic of Khonshu and his own magic, his spell activates and a dark smoke begins to curl around them and all of those infected by the Wendigos. What do you know? He is good, Moon Knight whispers as he turns back to the sorcerer, watching him disappear just as quickly as he arrived. He doesn't stick around for the applause, my kind of guy. Moon Knight whispers, and as the smoke curls, everyone begins to revert to their human forms. First, the Wenda Hulk becomes the Hulk, then becomes Banner. And in the confusion of the heroes trying to help everyone, Banner slips away. It isn't long before the morning light peeks over the city, recovering, and Bruce once again begins his search for the Red Hulk. She-Hulk nods, hanging up the phone, going down the list of superheroines that could back her up in her hunt for the Red Hulk. She keeps crossing names off until she finally gets someone. That's great, she says. Of course she can bring the horse. A short time later, Valkyrie lands her Pegasus on the deck of the helicarrier. Valkyrie, Thundra. Thundra, Valkyrie. Jennifer says that she introduces the two heroes that she managed to get a hold of. Let's get to work, Thundra nods. A short time later, Maria clips through the slides on her briefing of the Red Hulk. How he quickly cut through the likes of Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, and She-Hulk. Sorry, Jen, she whispers as She-Hulk shakes her head in shame at the footage. She looks at the three women, explaining that their mission is to capture the Red Hulk so that they can learn his civilian identity. Since this is S.H.I.E.L.D. sanctioned, I'd like you to armor up, she says as she walks over to the armory. Is she serious? Thundra whispers to Valkyrie. Take your pick, Hill says as she motions to a wall of weapons and armor. The girls quickly get into their gear and choose their weapons, finally standing ready to fight. Let's go spank some red ass, She-Hulk says as she lifts her magical mace. It takes a few days to locate the criminal, but they do finally find Red Hulk inside of a rundown bar near Mount Rushmore. They find him amidst the destroyed ruins, drinking from a keg like it's a beer can. I'd ask you to surrender, but I'm really hoping you put up a good fight, She-Hulk tells him as the three women enter the bar through the door. Even though the wall is destroyed, he throws it down the keg. Careful what you wish for, he bellows as he rushes at them, knocking all three of them back out into the open. As the women scatter, Red Hulk reaches out, grabbing a hold of a nearby gas tanker. What do you think, Walters? You just show up with a couple of your gal pals and get some payback? Red Hulk asks. Actually, yeah, she says as she reaches up to block the truck as he brings it down. The gasoline explodes, showering all of them in flames, but the women are nigh indestructible, and Thundra leaps, swinging the magic chain that she took from the armory down on Red Hulk. That's enough, she shouts, and Red Hulk reaches out, grabbing the chain, allowing it to wrap around his wrist. Thundra, we haven't even started, he snarls, yanking the chain from her grasp, whipping it through the air, allowing it to wrap around She-Hulk's neck. Come to daddy, he says as he drags her away, dangling her over the edge of Mount Rushmore, choking her as he looks up at the other two. If you two want to come back inside and have a beer with me, and play spin the bottle, I won't kill your girlfriend here, he tells them with a smile. She-Hulk continues to struggle against the chain. Don't you dare listen, she gasps. I'm not listening. Are you listening? Valkyrie asks Thundra. How can you hear anything with that helmet on? Thundra asks Valkyrie. But Red Hulk just continues to smile as he holds the chain. What's it gonna be, girls? She-Hulk dies or you agree to be the bread in a Red Hulk sandwich, he tells them. And then he tells them that they have 3 seconds to decide before he yanks the chain, snapping her neck. But Valkyrie moves quickly, throwing her sword through the air, and it spins past Red Hulk's head as he easily dodges it. Don't move, he tells them. But Thundra manages to reach the shotgun that fell. Not so dumb if you knew the plan, she snaps as she brings the weapon up, blasting Red Hulk in the face. Valkyrie's sword keeps going, slashing through the chain as Red Hulk crumples in pain. You have just made a big mistake, he growls, but Thundra just shoots him again when he looks up to threaten them. As She-Hulk begins to fall, she's quickly caught by Valkyrie's Pegasus. She flips off of the flying horse and lands on Red Hulk's back, driving him hard into the earth. She-Hulk smash! She bellows, and the ground cracks beneath them, and Abraham Lincoln's head begins to crumble and fall off the mountain. That's gonna leave a mark, she hisses as she wraps the chain around Red Hulk's throat, pulling tight. Die! Valkyrie shouts, rushing forward, driving the sword through the monster's chest. A look of surprise crosses his face as he falls to the ground, no longer moving. Well, that was easy, if you don't count the part where he almost killed all of us, She-Hulk notes as they stand over the body of Red Hulk, and Thundra keeps her weapon up. Careful, he could be playing us, she begins to say, but Red Hulk reaches up, grabbing her weapon. Not could be, absolutely was, he growls as he rips the weapon free of her grasp, getting to his feet. Now for my next trick, he gasps as he pulls the sword's hilt, pulling it out of his own chest. He then holds both weapons in his hands, anger radiating off of him. I'm gonna chop off your heads and use them for... He begins to shout, but a voice interrupts him. No, sorry we're late to the party? Sue Richards calls, and Red Hulk turns to see Spider-Woman, Invisible Woman, Storm, Tigra, Hellcat, and Black Widow all charging towards him. Jen smiles as her friends gather around her. Ladies, let's teach this jughead some manners, and the group of female superheroes launch themselves at Red Hulk, hitting them with everything that they've got. He tosses She-Hulk aside as Tigra and Hellcat leap onto his back, slashing at him with their claws. Sue hits him with a barrage of invisible energy, trying to bring him down. He tosses the cats aside as Valkyrie rushes in with her spear, but he grabs the tip, knocking her away. You know, I've taken all the crap I'm gonna take from you, She-Hulk yells as she barrels in, hitting him again and again, raining punches down on his face and body. She finally whirls, punching him in the nose, staggering the Red Giant. Now's our chance, she shouts to her friends as he stumbles. Sue bubbles his head, cutting off his air supply, leaving a small hole for Storm. The bubble is then filled with lightning that rips into Red Hulk. He staggers for a moment before tipping over and falling to the ground. Before he could fall off the edge, Thundra lashes out with a chain, tying him back up. And triumphantly, the women stand over their fallen enemy. What do we do with him now? Tigra asks. We take Val's sword and chop his head off and be done with it, Thundra says simply. But She-Hulk shakes her head, explaining that they have to wait for him to calm to see who he really is. And then maybe we chop his head off. She nods. Time passes, and the women talk about their lives, catching everyone up. Thundra stands over the body with the sword. I still say we chop off his head, she says to the group, but more time passes, and they continue to talk. Storm brings up that he might not even revert, just like She-Hulk doesn't, but Thundra waits with the sword. I still say we chop his head off, she says. Morning dawns overhead, and Thundra chimes in. I still say we chop his head off. We get it, She-Hulk shouts in exasperation. Full daylight appears, and the heroes all stretch in exhaustion. Red Hulk suddenly rears up, ripping the chains apart in a single flex. He then lashes out, taking out both Jessica Drew and Storm in one quick move. He played us! He took out Aurora and Drew, our only flyers! Thundra shouts, but she is suddenly grabbed by Red Hulk as he rushes past them, leaping away with his new prisoner. She-Hulk tries to leap after him, but she can't leap as high, missing grabbing Red Hulk. She curses as she falls back to the earth. A short time later, Red Hulk slams Thundra against the wall, telling her to calm down, that he only wanted to recruit her. He explains, I'm not the Green Hulk. I kidnapped you because I have plans, and I get what I want. Why me? She asks, and he smiles, his eyes glowing. Because you were the only one who was willing to kill me. Now do you want to hear what I have to offer? Later, the other heroes are fixing Mount Rushmore when Jen's phone buzzes. She answers it, relieved to hear Thundra's voice on the other end. What did he want? Why did he take you? She asks, and Thundra pauses for a moment before she tells Jen that Red Hulk just wanted to use her as a hostage and let her go. I'm glad you're okay. We'll get him next time, Jen tells her. And Thundra nods, hanging up the phone, walking away. Once upon a time, the Hulk stood upon a world in the heart of an atom. He looked down at the people as they cheered his name and told him that he would marry their princess. He was truly at peace as he held his love. The strength of the Hulk combined with the intelligence of Banner. The princess holds him, happy that they found each other, though they are from different universes. When suddenly a giant hand reaches down, destroying the castle walls. Jorella, you are needed elsewhere, a voice booms. Hulk, save me! Princess Jorella screams as the hand grasps her and pulls her away. Hulk leaps after her, but the massive hand pulls back through the walls of this reality, disappearing. And now the Hulk stands before the Grand Master. Hulk, what if I told you that I could give you Jorella back? The Grand Master asks, and the Hulk growls, shaking his head. Blue Man lies. Jorella is dead. Hulk snaps, but the Grand Master explains that death is a subjective term for an elder of the galaxy. Hulk becomes angry, demanding his lost love, and so the Grand Master nods, telling Hulk that there will be a competition between two teams. You pick who, I pick the when. Hulk win, Hulk get Jorella? The Green Monster asks, and Grand Master agrees. So a team is gathered. First, Norrin Rad returns to his beloved on the planet of Zenla. His love doesn't recognize him at first, but he explains that he became the Herald of Galactus in order to save their planet. Surfer Man! Hulk yells, interrupting what could be their last embrace. At first, the Silver Surfer attacks the Hulk, confusing the green monster as he believes the Surfer to be his friend. "I have never seen you before in my life," the Silver Surfer tells him, and the Hulk becomes angry but manages to control himself as he stands over the cosmic hero. "Hulk doesn't understand why you don't know Hulk, but Blue Man said Hulk could save Jarella and save Surfer's girlfriend." Surfer suddenly turns as he hears a voice below the horizon. "To me, my herald!" Galactus calls, and as both heroes go to Galactus, the giant explains to the Surfer that the Elder Being is at play. "One whose power rivals my own. Because of this, I grant you 24 hours of reprieve, Surfer. After that, Zenla will be consumed." Galactus bellows and the Hulk nods, turning to the Surfer, promising to save his girlfriend. "But we have to go get more friends now." Next, deep in the ocean, King Namor holds the body of his beloved, Lady Dorma, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The Surfer suddenly appears before him, once again surprised that Namor knows him by name. He questions what Namor would do to bring back his lost love. "Anything!" Namor snaps, so the Surfer bids him to follow, and they travel through the ocean depths to the surface. "Patient, Sea King. We're not far," the Surfer tells him when Namor becomes impatient. They travel to an oil rig where Namor is shocked to find the Hulk, and he leaps at him in an attack, but the Hulk slams him away. "Hulk is here as Namor's friend, but you will not hit the Hulk," he bellows as he throws him to the ground, pinning the king there, explaining that he has a way to save Namor's love as well. "For Dorma, I will trust you, Hulk, for now." Next, they travel to another dimension where they find a masked Doctor Strange fighting to hold back the waves of chaos that threaten our world, for his love Clea is lost, pulled away by the dark forces. And in moments before Strange himself is overwhelmed, he is saved by the Hulk, Silver Surfer, and Namor. "Heroes from the outer world, how is this possible? Hulk needs a Cape Man to save Jarella. Cape Man needs Hulk to save his lady." Hulk quickly explains as he smashes. Namor steps forward, agreeing that there is an uneasy alliance between all of them to save their lost loves. Hulk looks up into the nothingness above him. "Blue Man! Hulk has picked his team!" he bellows, and suddenly they all stand before the Grand Master, as he explains to the heroes that the fact that they would die for the ones that they love, it will be of great importance to the game. With this, he motions to his brother, the Collector. "Well played, brother. You have put together a formidable team. Too bad I had the same notion and started with the other Hulk to collect my champions," he says with a smile. "What other Hulk?" Hulk demands, growing angry, and they all turn to see the Red Hulk smiling. "That'd be me. You got a problem with that? Tough! My allies and I are going to destroy you," he says as he motions to Baron Mordo, Terrax, and Tiger Shark. "Together, we make the Offenders." The Collector looks at his brother, asking if he would like to concede early, but the Grand Master shakes his head, motioning to the Hulk, informing his brother that he doesn't wish to play fair either. The other heroes look shocked as the Hulk begins to transform, and they question what is happening. "I don't know, but I've got Banner's mind and Hulk's power again. Let's take advantage of this. Defenders, we fight smart, we fight hard. For love, to the death." So the competition begins with the heroes paired against their opposites, teleporting to different times and places for their fights. Beneath the ocean, the Hulk is battling against Red Hulk, strange power allowing them to breathe underwater. "I don't want to fight you," Hulk tries to tell the Red Hulk as he dodges the monster's slow attacks. Red Hulk tries to punch again, but the water is simply slowing him down. "After the beating I gave you last time, I don't want to fight you either, 'cause I want to kill you." As the Hulk blocks the blows, he continues to try and get through to Red Hulk, explaining that the Grand Master is the true enemy. Hulk spins, pinning the Red Hulk's arms down as he continues to talk. "I don't care what you gotta say. All I can hear is a whining milksop." Red Hulk snaps, and he roars, breaking free of the Hulk. "The last person that I'd listen to is Bruce Banner." Meanwhile, over in the Microverse, the Silver Surfer is fighting against Terrax, another being who seems to know him even though the Silver Surfer hasn't met him yet. Terrax uses his axe to split the Surfer's board, but he easily puts it back together, launching an energy blast at the other Herald. In the dimension of the Mindless Ones, Namor is fighting off against Tiger Shark. Namor is surprised that the villain can withstand his blows, but as Tiger Shark throws him to the ground, he explains that he has been enhanced. He bites down on Namor's shoulder, his adamantium teeth cutting through the king's flesh. It is on Zen-La that Strange is exchanging magical blasts with Baron Mordo, Shala Bal watching in shock. Beneath the ocean, Hulk is pushing away from another blow, reaching for the King's trident on the throne, and as he struggles, he questions why the Red Hulk hates him so much, and whether he really is just another manifestation of the Hulk. But as he whirls around with the trident and hits the Red Hulk in the groin, he knocks him to the ground, pushing the staff against his throat. I need you alive to gather your fenders and team with my defenders. We will fight back against the Grandmaster and the Collector. The fight, meanwhile, continues on all 4 worlds while the Grandmaster and the Collector watch. I am bitterly disappointed. They are too evenly matched, the Grandmaster tells his brother, and the Collector agrees, offering that they should add a new element to each fight. And so, on Zen-La, Galactus appears, knocking the mages away, demanding to know where his herald is before he devours the planet. In the dimension of the mindless ones, Dormammu drops down, grasping the aquatic beings with his flaming fist, demanding that they take him back through the dimensional wall so that he can conquer the Earth. Over in the Microverse, the Silver Surfer and Terrax suddenly fall to their knees as overwhelming fear sweeps over them, and they look up, terrified to see Psycho Man. In the depths of the ocean, the Red Hulk twists away from the Hulk, knocking him aside, picking up the trident and stabbing it into the Hulk's back. I will never ally myself with you. Mission accomplished. The Hulk is dead. Red Hulk cheers, and in moments he stands before the Grand Master. Game over. He sneers, but the Grand Master shakes his head. You do not dictate the terms of the game. The Collector shakes his head, agreeing that the Red Hulk has fulfilled his mission. But the Red Hulk sneers as he raises the trident, standing over the Hulk's body, proclaiming him dead. When suddenly the body begins to rise and the Red Hulk is confused. What are you doing with him? He demands, and the Collector just smiles as the Hulk is placed into a tube. What I do with everything, I collect it, he says with a smile, and the Grandmaster stands over the Red Hulk, asking if he would like to reserve the others or return to the game. Love to, Red Hulk says with an evil smile, and in moments he is standing before Psycho Man, tearing off his arm. I don't even know Psycho Man, and I already hate the guy. I seriously doubt that there's anything you could do to stop me. Hulk says as he tears the robot apart, and Terrax smiles, reaching for his axe, happy that he and Red Hulk can finish off the Surfer, but Red Hulk grabs the axe, cutting off Terrax's head. You're insane! He was your teammate! The Surfer shouts at him, but Red Hulk shakes his head. No, he was in my way, he says simply, and he smiles as energy burns around him, and he explains to the Surfer that he absorbs energy from his enemies. I've got a real taste for cosmic energy too, he says as he grabs the Surfer by the throat, lifting him into the air, snapping the Silver Surfer's neck, dropping him to the ground. Now, where's that surfboard? He says as he looks around. Later, using the cosmic surfboard to break into another dimension, the one of the mindless ones, he breaks the pair free of Dormammu's grasp, frying Tiger Shark with the cosmic powers. I've got plans that don't include you, Tiger Shark, he says to his former ally, and Namor rushes forward, demanding to know what Red Hulk did with Silver Surfer, but the now overpowered monster knocks him away by throwing the axe at his head, cutting it off. Afterwards, he flies through Dormammu, sucking up Dormammu's energy before he can escape the dimension. Next, he's over at Zen-La, blasting Doctor Strange and Baron Mordo out of existence, and then he smiles up at the World Eater Galactus, dropping the body of Silver Surfer into his hands. You dare! Galactus says, anger in his eyes, but the Red Hulk just smiles. Bring it on, Galactus! I punched a Watcher, and that was before I had the Silver Surfer's powers. The energies begin to charge around Galactus. I am not a Watcher, and you do not realize that the Surfer's cosmic energy was not his to give, but mine to take back, Galactus bellows, blasting the Red Hulk with his eye beams, taking away his power in an instant. But instead of killing him, Red Hulk once again falls before the Grandmaster and the Collector. This is not what we planned, the Grandmaster says, explaining to Red Hulk that he has unbalanced the universe and made Galactus angry. The game is over. Who cares? I won! Red Hulk growls at them from the ground, but the Grandmaster shakes his head, explaining that the Defenders have been revived, and Red Hulk's own team has been sent back to their time, alive and well. no memory of what has transpired, the Grandmaster tells him as he motions to a burst of energy. And from the smoke emerges the defenders, led by an enraged Hulk. But Hulk, remember, Red Hulk is keeping Jarella from me. Hulk bellows, anger and fire burning in Red Hulk's eyes as he looks at his enemy. No, this isn't right! I won! You are all dead! He shouts, but the Grandmaster looks down at him, reminding him that death is subjective. But Red Hulk leaps up, punching the Elder in the face. Subjective this! He shouts, and the Grandmaster hits the ground, with the Red Hulk keeping on hitting him until the Green Hulk stops his fist, ordering him to stop hitting the Blue Man. Hulk, I've killed you once. This time I'll make it stick. He snaps, but Hulk twists him around, punching him hard in the chin. Hulk fought for love. You fought for hate. Hulk smash hate! He shouts as the blow sends the Red Hulk sailing through a mountain. But it doesn't matter as the Collector looks down at his brother, proclaiming him dead. Then bring him back to life as you did the rest of us, and then return the women that we were promised, Namor tells the Elder being, but the Collector shakes his head, explaining that resurrecting an Elder is nearly impossible. As for the bargain regarding your women, that was with my brother. I made no such arrangement. The Collector tells him. The Hulk growls, ordering him to bring Jarella back, and finally the Collector agrees, but only allowing the Hulk to see if she is. Be careful what you wish for, he warns as he disappears, and the Hulk looks down at the body of his first love, cradling her in his arms before whispering for the Collector to make her go away. Make them all go away, he whispers, and slowly the other heroes fade away as well, returning to their own space and time. Though he is unseeable, the Collector agrees, promising that he return to everyone to their rightful place. You must come to accept that death is a part of life, Hulk. It can't be cheated or bargained with, only accepted. Collect your memories of Jarella. That is how she will remain alive for you forever, he says before completely fading away. Afterwards, the Red Hulk returns for his beating, smirking, happy that he left the Hulk with a broken heart, so that he may continue to suffer. Just as you left me, Banner, he snaps as he leaps away into the night. Domino looks down at her target from the rooftop above. Little late for a shave and a haircut, she whispers as she peers through the scope. She briefly sees Doc Samson, his green hair sticking out, but when he drives away, her sights fall on another target as she follows him into the alleyway, peering down on the strange man. Suddenly he begins to shift and the Red Hulk whirls around, glaring his eyes at her. His eyes glowing with fire as she gasps, "Oh my god, wrong place, wrong time." He snarls as he leaps up at her, Domino beginning to run for her life, shouting over her shoulder that she didn't see anything while Red Hulk chases and demands to know who sent her. She keeps moving as he rips a water tower out of its supports, throwing it at her, but she leaps over a gap between the buildings, jumping just clear enough not to be crushed. The water sprays out, knocking her to the ground. "You're lucky, girl. I'll give you that." Red Hulk sneers as he leaps after her, but he slams into the rooftop and it gives way, crumbling beneath his weight. In the confusion and the destruction, Domino gets away. Later, Red Hulk stands amidst the destruction, firefighters trying to get the blaze under control, and he glares at Leonard Samson. "She should be dead," he snarls. "Well, she isn't," Samson tells him, and Red Hulk nods. "I'll find this woman and I'll kill her," he promises, telling them that he'll handle it himself. But General Ross then steps forward. "No, you won't," he tells the monster, handing him a data pad with information on the team that Ross wants put together to bring the woman down. "You've got less than 24 hours, Ross tells Red Hulk. And despite the Red Hulk's unhappiness with this new plan, he snaps at him. "Who the hell are you to give me orders?" He points his finger at Ross, but Ross doesn't even flinch. "You know exactly who I am, and that ends our discussion." So, Red Hulk begins to put together his team. And up first is Deadpool, who fights against a group of robotic Deadpools. Red Hulk bursts through a wall, shouting for the merc with a mouth. "Listen, Red, I'm a little busy here. You'll have to take a number and wait your turn," Deadpool tells him, but Red Hulk immediately begins to attack the robot Deadpools. "I don't wait my turn." He reaches out and grabs Deadpool by the throat. "And you talk too much. And your breath stinks," Deadpool tells him, but Red Hulk leans in, telling the merc that he is going to offer him a lot of money for the job. Suddenly, Deadpool's all ears. Next up is Punisher. He leaps through a skylight, his shotgun blaring as he blasts into the criminals that he's been following. He lands on a table, drawing his pistols and clearing out the rest of the room. I like your style, Red Hulk says in the shadows, and Frank just turns, opening fire on the Red Hulk. You're a Hulk of a different color, he snaps, and he draws the shotgun, firing again. But before he can pull out his knife to drive it into the Red Hulk's chest, the Red Hulk looks at him, pulling the blade free. You done? And with that, the rest of the team are quickly gathering on a rooftop above the city. Hiya, Frankie! Deadpool waves to Frank Castle. Shut up or I'll shoot you in the head. They've also got Crimson Dynamo and Thundra, who join them as Red Hulk goes over the plan one last time. Hunt down and capture the mutant known as Domino. He looks at them all. People, we got less than 19 hours. And a voice calls out from the edge of the building. You won't need it. I already found her. Elektra tells them as she steps down into their midst. So, a short time later, Domino looks up from her drink, seeing a gathering of killers in the mirror at the bar. I see you brought friends. But as she turns around, the rest of X-Force reveal themselves in the bar. I brought friends too. Wolverine smiles, popping his claws with a schnick, and he stands. X-Force, kill whoever you want, but Big Red is mine. Red Hulk steps forward, offering his team $1 million bonus if they can kill a member of the mutants. If you just hand over Domino, your people will live, the monster tells Wolverine. Not gonna happen, bub. Frank squares off with X-23 while Crimson Dynamo is going against Archangel, Deadpool fighting against Warpath, Thundra fights against Domino, and Elektra takes a seat watching while Wolverine charges the Red Hulk, crashing him through a window. Let's take this outside, he snarls as he slashes at this Red Hulk with his claws. Wolverine drawing blood as they fight, leaping up over the Red Hulk, avoiding his powerful blows, and leaping onto his back, burying the claws into the red flesh, drawing glowing blood. At the top of the Red Hulk, he brings his claws to his throat. Real quick, what do you want with Dom anyway? He asks. Oh, she hasn't told you? Red Hulk questions, but Wolverine shakes his head. Do I look like the kind of guy who questions what he already knows the answer to? But Red Hulk snatches him off his back, preparing to snap Wolverine in half. But Wolverine slashes, blinding the big monster, so Red Hulk just throws him away, cursing as he clutches at his wounded eyes, standing up, shocked that he can't see. I'm blind, he gasps. Inside the bar, the rest of the team continue to fight back and forth, with Warpath knocking Deadpool's prattling away and Domino blasting Thundra with her guns. X-23 slashing through Punisher's shotgun, but Frank twists, knocking her down, stabbing her through the chest with a broken pool cue. You jerk! She snarls as she clocks him in the head with an 8-ball, Domino smiling as she stands over the fallen Thundra, who then is kicked from behind by Elektra. I've held back on purpose, Elektra tells her. Now you're gonna talk to me? Domino says as she knocks Elektra into the bar mirror. The mutant slams into the bar and Elektra jumps over, putting her side to the woman's throat. I don't want to fight you, she hisses. Why is everyone after you? Elektra questions as Domino begins to struggle. But Elektra questions why the two teams are even fighting each other. What if someone set us up? She whispers. Meanwhile, Warpath and Deadpool continue to fight in the back room, with Warpath managing to stab Deadpool through the chest, hoping to shut him up. But the merc pulls the knife out, lunging at him, when suddenly, they pause. Do you smell gas? Warpath asks, and they both turn to see the severed gas pipe. The bar explodes in an eruption of flames, with Thundra pulling herself out of the burning rumble, anger in her voice. Domino! I'm going to grab you by your hair, witch, and drag you into the street! She bellows as she slams her fist into what remains of the bar. She then turns to find Red Hulk standing nearby. Questioning what just happened, she quickly fills him in as the bar is exploding, with Elektra and Domino managing to escape. Well, I have to get going. The sun'll come up soon and we're going to lose our tactical advantage, Red Hulk tells her, still not turning around. She looks at him for a moment, asking, what is wrong with you? What are you looking at? But then he turns, revealing his wounded eyes. Nothing, he whispers. And they are suddenly awash in a taxi's headlights as the car speeds towards them. Inside, Wolverine is readying himself. Nobody throws me into the East River, you red gorilla! Thundra jumps out of the way as the taxi slams into Red Hulk, not doing very much damage to him at all. Round 2, bub, Wolverine shouts as he jumps clear, readying himself as the fire blazes behind him. Tell everyone to go home, game's over, he says with a smile, but Hulk just glares in his general direction. You don't get to make that call! Red, if you had eyeballs, you'd know your whole team's fried, Wolverine tells him. But he suddenly gets cracked in the back of the head by a large weapon, falling to the ground. Wolverine, you of all people should know that it ain't over until the fat lady sings. And I have been trying to keep my girlish figure, Red She-Hulk says with a smile as she steps onto Wolverine's back, aiming the gun at him. She keeps the weapon trained on Wolverine, shouting for Red Hulk to go, but Red Hulk is still confused. And Thunder explains that there is a large female version of the Red Hulk holding Domino's gun and Elektra's sai. She's like the She-Hulk, only red. You don't know who this is? Thunder asks Red Hulk, but Wolverine grows angry as he demands to know where Red She-Hulk got her weapon, and he stabs into the ground, hitting a power line, charging up his claws. He sends a burst of electricity into Red She-Hulk, getting back up, telling everyone, "I'm leaving to find Domino, and I'll kill anyone who tries to stop me." For a guy with a big dog reputation, you're basically a creepy little man with a Napoleon complex. Red She-Hulk snaps at him, leaping at him, and Wolverine turns, stabbing her in the stomach. But she spits in his eye, elbowing him in the face. She continues to punch, biting him in the face. "That's it!" He bellows as he prepares to stab her again, but he's suddenly shot several times by Frank Castle. "I don't know whose side the red girl is on, but I know whose side you're not on, Wolverine." Punisher snaps, but the rest of the crew begin to gather around Logan, Archangel returning to the fight, launching his blades into those enemies. "Logan, get down!" he shouts, but Thunder throws her chain, wrapping it around Archangel's throat, ordering him to stop before she snaps his neck. And with all of this distraction going on, Red She-Hulk calls out to Red Hulk, grabbing him by the arm and stamping a hole into the ground, which they both use to drop into the sewer as she pulls him away. Wolverine turns to fight the rest of them and chase after the Hulks, but a shadowy figure tells him that it's a waste of time. As he prepares to argue, the man reminds him that he needs to find Domino. "Go. No one will stop you," the man tells him, and Wolverine finally nods, turning to run away. The man turns to the rest of Red Hulk's team. This fiasco has destroyed a city block. Either the Avengers or the army is going to come down on all of you, and that can't be a good thing, he tells them all. They all begin to argue that Red Hulk owes them money, and the man explains that Red Hulk was never going to pay them, but he will. Meanwhile, Red Hulk is moving through the sewer, demanding to know who sent Red She-Hulk. Miles avoiding the question as they continue to move through the darkness, as she tells him that it's the same people who he works for. He begins to question what's going on, because nothing is making any sense to him at this point, and he then questions where did she even take him. She responds by twisting his arm and stabbing the sai into his neck, informing him that he's gotten sloppy. She then states that the package is delivered as Red Hulk gargles as he is holding his throat. "Who's there?" he gasps, and Deadpool laughs, aiming his pistol at the Red Hulk's head. 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count! From the shadows, Samson steps out. "This is what is known as a double cross, Red Hulk." Red Hulk stands, reaching for the sai that is jammed in his neck, but Samson points out that Red She-Hulk has severed his carotid artery. The woman smiles, reminding him that he can die of internal bleeding just like anyone else. Red Hulk looks at the others, questioning if Samson told them that he wouldn't make good on their deal. "This is what he does. He gets in your head, tells you what you want to hear." Red Hulk is gasping, but Leonard just smiles. "They don't trust you. And why should they? You brought this on yourself, Red Hulk." But Red Hulk continues to hold the wound, telling the others that they work for the same people, and if Samson betrayed him, he'll betray them. "What about you, Thunder?" She then begins to whirl the chain. "Now!" Red Hulk shouts, wrapping the chain around Samson's throat. He staggers to his feet, turning and pointing at Punisher and Deadpool. "I could kill you both. You know that that's a fact. I'm not asking you to take a side. I'm telling you not to pick one." He growls at them, but Red Hulk is in his ear, smiling that he still can't see thanks to his fight with Wolverine. But Red Hulk opens his eyes and they glow with fire. "Yeah, about that. I could see again." He bellows as he slams into her, knocking her into the wall. A train speeds down the subway, blocking them for a moment, but as it passes, Red Hulk is gone and Red She-Hulk only finds the remains of her sai. She turns back to see Samson facing off against Thunder. "I've got this, go find him," Samson tells her. She turns, running into the darkness, passing Punisher and Deadpool, who have given up and are calmly walking away. Meanwhile, Red Hulk breaks through the side of the subcar, telling everyone, "Remain calm, I'm not going to be here long." She-Hulk suddenly rips through the ceiling, pulling him up, dragging his head against the roof of the subway. "You were given a mission, a chance to change this country from everything that is wrong with it. You diverted from the plan, you let your emotions cloud your judgment, and for what? To get back at Banner?" She says as she slams Red Hulk down again and begins to wail on his face. "How do you know any of that? Who are you?" Red Hulk snaps as he punches it back, the subway coming out onto the Earth and Red Hulk jumping clear, pulling her with him. Are you going to answer my questions or are you going to die? Do you really think that the people you work for care? He asks her as he dangles her by her hair, but she continues to struggle as he climbs higher. If you really think that that's the way you get me to question my loyalty, then you really don't know me, she tells him, and he carries her to the top of the building, preparing to throw her off, demanding to know who she is and why they created her. Do it then, she shouts as he shrugs his shoulders. Your choice, your fate. He tells her, but he changes his mind, pulling her down, and Red She-Hulk looks at him, asking if he expects her to be thankful. I don't expect you to understand. He tells her as he turns away, but she whirls, kicking him off the building, plummeting through the air, slamming into the earth hard enough to shake the buildings. Elektra is actually sitting nearby. I wasn't sure you'd survive that fall, she says offhandedly. Now you know. I thought you were dead. Now you know, she tells him, offering her hand, offering to take him to Domino. So after everything has happened, Wolverine's team defending Domino and disappearing, after Wolverine disappeared, and after being betrayed, they all stand in the apartment terrace of Silver's Sable. Domino with a gun to her head, waving the gun, ordering Sable to explain, and the super spy tells Red Hulk that she was approached by a man with green hair and asked to relay a message to Domino, that a meeting was going down at a front for AIM. Domino explains that she had a history with AIM and went because of that. You went not expecting me to be there. It really was the wrong place at the wrong time. Red Hulk nods to her. That's what I've been telling you, and at this point, I'm not sure what I saw. Domino tells him, and Red Hulk doesn't fully believe her, and knows that she could have gone public with her info, or at least told Wolverine. She could have, Wolverine says with a nod, and Red Hulk nods, explaining that if Domino comes out with that information, he'll inform the government of the secret mutant Wetworks team, led by a member of the X-Men and an Avenger, and you'll be the excuse they need to wipe out the mutants. We're done, Wolverine responds to that. Not quite, I keep Silver Sable, Red Hulk says with a smile. A short while later, with the mutants gone, the woman tries to defend herself, but Red Hulk merely demands the money that she was paid. Give me the cash, now. He looks back up at Elektra as he tries to figure out how his bosses even put this team together. And she nods, explaining that if the information of what Red Hulk's identity was got out, it would spread like wildfire with the team that was put together. Why were you put on the list? She just smiles. Someone had to find Domino for you.
And that was volumes 1 through 4 of The Red Hulk. Unfortunately, Benny never completed this story, and I honestly cannot remember the reason why since we did this series over 2 years ago. But I hope you enjoyed the story nonetheless. And if you did, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.